didn't make his way back into Premier League. And that's just, that's not the type of performance that we normally expect from a player like Snute.
It's true.
Because Snute, I think, is capable, and he's shown us that on multiple occasions in Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm, that he's able to compete with the absolute best.
GLHF as the players load up Frost with Liquid Snute spawning in the top left. Clap, 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 clap.
Yoshi.
Yoshi! It's a me, Mario. Down in the bottom left, on to Hyun.
I can't help to feel a little bit sad about Hyun the more that I think about it. He's played such a fantastic year of StarCraft. I think he was one of the most consistent performers ever since Heart of the Swarm came out. It took him 2-3 months to, really get used to the game, because towards the end of Wings of Liberty, it was without a shadow of a doubt one of the best Zergs in the world. Then, it took 2-3 months before Hyun was able to post the same results. But just look at his performances lately. So many top 4 finishes, top 4 IM. New York, top 2 at the MLG, top 4 Home Story Cup, and top 1 at DreamHack Bucharest. It's just insane. He's had such a good StarCraft year, and it's kind of unfortunate that that he's not gonna make it, because I do think that he kind of deserves it, looking at everything other than WCS. But yeah, there are so many points to earn within WCS, and unfortunately for Hyun, he lost in the round of 32 earlier this year when he was in a very stacked group in Korea. Once more in a group with Gumio, Rain, and Innovation. That was just kind of insane.
But Kev, the greatest Zerg brother of them all, is still alive. Badong.
Why is the Dung the greatest Zerg brother of all time?
Because it's Jadong, man. Brood War legend.
No, I mean, it's great for Jadong, but Jadong was going to be at BlizzCon regardless. He has so many points already. And it's awesome that we're going to see Jadong in Toronto, don't get me wrong, but...
Hopefully.
I think it would have been amazing to see both Hyun and Naniwa at BlizzCon. Then again, it would also be awesome to see someone like DRS2. I actually think it's very likely that a player like DRS2, or maybe even Bjorn, if he somehow qualifies out of a miracle, shows up at BlizzCon and actually wins it. Like the player who came in last, barely managed to qualify, shows up and actually wins the tournament. I can see it happen, but
kind of like NASL Season 1.
Yeah, Puma. Everyone fights the entire season. Puma wins the qualifier. He's like, cool.
Hey, this is pretty easy.
$40,000, ship it.
Thanks, Russ.
EG money, ship it. Season 2, let's do it again. Snute already has the extractor and is already starting to mine gas. Hyun, on the other hand, is not doing that. He's going gasless for a while, man. What does this mean?
Good question, Kev. I'm not really sure what to tell you here. Oftentimes, when I see gasless openings in ZVZ, it means you just want to saturate that early game mineral economy and then take multiple gases very quickly and maybe go for some kind of a timing, or just kind of play, not really catch up, because you will have a superior mineral economy, but catch up in the tech.
But most likely he's just going to ignore the Zergling Baning phase and just go straight up to Roaches, correct?
Maybe. I mean, yeah. Usually you'll defend that with Queens and Spines when you go gasless. So that could certainly be the case. We do see extra queen production coming out. There's going to be 4 queens very soon for Hyun.
And the Spinecrawler being morphed in as well, as the Baneling is going down on the other side of the map. Snute doesn't really have an idea of what he's facing. He was never able to see the extractors of Hyun. He does have an Overlord hiding behind the natural. But that's pretty much all he knows, man. He knows that there are a couple of drones mining money in the natural. Doesn't really tell you a whole lot.
So I see you're collecting minerals,
well,
says Snute. Yes, I am, says Hyun.
That's the case. Poor Snute actually has no idea, because he's even making a Spinecrawler, and if he would know what he's facing, the last thing he would ever make is a Spinecrawler.
He should know, just after seeing these queens. Oh, you went gasless. We can see Hyun is doing what we talked about, 4 gases at once.
And immediately he cancels the Spinecrawler, so excellent read by Snute. It's funny how little these players have to see to just immediately figure out. I heard Teja once say that, I don't know what it was, but he counted 1 SCV too less and he knew exactly what was going on. It's just insane and doesn't even make sense. 1 SCV, man, when they're already like 15 or 16 SCVs, he's just like, this doesn't make sense.
It's a little silly. I'm wondering if Hyun's just going to go straight up to layer. Nope, there goes the Evo chambers. And this could be Zergling timing. It could also be for Roach upgrades.
I think we're going to see a Roach Tower out of Hyun. That makes so much more sense to me. Or It's going really crazy, and he's just going to straight up the Muda.
Yeah, there's the roach one.
But he's not going to do that. Roach one makes a lot more sense.
So the way this works out, the upgrades on the Evo chambers are going to finish about the same time as Roach speed, if he starts those upgrades.
16 additional speed links are on the way. Snute is going to try to make something happen here, Ben, but I'm having a hard time imagining how he could potentially do it. What I also find interesting is that Snute is researching armor and not attack. Why do you think that is?
Well, it's...
Against Banelings?
Yeah, it helps against Banelings. It's also good against Roaches, because armor means that your Lings don't die in 2 hits, which is important.
Circlings with +1 are so strong, though.
This is still going to be tough for Snute. Hyun's going to be going for a big 1-1 Roach timing, and even if Snute goes straight up to Spire and gets Mutas out, he's going to have to deal with a lot of Roaches.
I think Snute is going to try to counter with Roaches as well. I mean, economy-wise, or economically, they're kind of even. Snute, of course, is going to have a better economy, as he will be able to mine off 3 bases, but his Roach production is just a little later, and it's going to be very hard for him to get the same amount of Roaches out.
I would love to see Hyun also add in Burrow, because Burrow's cool, and it makes Roach attacks even stronger.
Snute is going to need to buy some time for himself. It's okay for him to lose most of these links as long as he's able to buy enough time for himself to get enough Roaches out. He's 11 workers ahead, and that's a crazy amount in ZVZ.
Yeah, but it also means that that's 11 larvae fewer, or 11 larvae worth of units fewer that Snute's going to have. Hyun is actually back to droning now, so never mind. I take it back.
Which surprises me.
Yeah.
Snute just randomly blows up 2 Banelings at the hatch tree, because why not? Actually, because he's going to follow it up with a Ling attack, and he might be able to force a cancel on this hatch. I think he will, man.
Yep, these Lings will take the hatch out.
And pick up the drone as well. That's such a good pickup over here for Snute.
Very well done.
I think so far pretty much everything has gone Snute's way. A little bit of a run by here, gets some information, doesn't really tell him a whole lot. Pick up a drone. What a hero Ling.
And now Hyun with 1-1 and Roach speed all finishing up at the exact same time.
Yeah,
is gonna hit it.
I think Snute has easily bought enough time for himself. He's down 6 Roaches, but by the time that Hyun has been marching across the map, I think that he's gonna have a Roach advantage with 10 Roaches on the way at the moment. He's still down in upgrades, even though he does have +1 armor. But
yeah, but it's just not gonna make that big of a difference. Roaches are gonna go ahead and walk up this ramp, and
small army supply advantage for Snute as well. Actually, 78 against 70.
Walk up the ramp, and now they're gonna walk back down the ramp.
And at the same time, there are a couple of Roaches running by, trying to pick up as many drones as possible. But Snute was aware of this. Snute is playing excellent, man, this EVC. It might have been a very long day for us, but I would like to highlight how Snute has just been pretty much doing everything right against Hyun.
I like what Hyun was trying to do there. He distracted Snute with that attack at the front, sent a couple Roaches into the back, but Snute was all over.
And right now, Snute has a pretty big army advantage. He's on 98 against 70. Things are starting to look better and better for our Norwegian Zerg. And I don't really see how Hyun is going to be able to bounce back from this.
Positioning can still be king in Roach engagements. If Hyun fights Snute on a ramp, for instance, Snute's going to lose the fight just because he won't be able to engage with all of his Roaches. Hyun's also doing a great job of continuing to macro up. He's closing the gap in army supply. And he's got a soon to be a massive upgrade lead. He's going to have 2-2 against 1-1.
That is very big. He needs enough time though, and I don't think Snute wants to give him the time. Snute knows that he's facing double evolution gem, and he's going to try to push the issue back.
This attack's not going to work, man. He's attacking into Queens with transfusion and a spine crawler. I think Hyun should be able to hold no problem here. Snute still feels like he needs to make it happen, but he's going to be forced to back off because Hyun has got way more than enough to repel this aggression. He's even going to chase it down and maybe get a Roach killer too.
And losing those queens is not really a big deal because Hyun, of course, made a couple of additional queens early game, and he still has 5 of them. You might see him max out on Roach Queen.
So Hyun's in pretty good shape now.
Roach Queen's pretty good.
Probably going to see a Hydra Den coming down pretty soon from Hyun. Roach Hydra has become far superior to Roach Infestor in the meta that exists in modern day Heart of the Swarm.
Snute's still just working off a single evolution gem, but that might actually be his biggest problem this game. I really love the position he was in earlier, but that last attack just didn't really work out the way that I thought it
With 2-2 finishing up, Hyun's going to attack once more. He's got this timing window, but that's enough Roaches that he feels unsure of himself, and he is going to disengage. Going to fight here with the Queens, using transfusion and a few reinforcements, and I think this will be a pretty good engagement for Hyun. He also has Burrow, Kevin, and I think we might see some cute Burrow control. We could see some cute Burrow control, but We're not going to see any cute burrow control. Hyun's just going to disengage.
Yeah, because Snute still has a massive roach advantage. During all this, a couple of roaches again sneak by, trying to pick off as many drones as possible. Throughout the entire game, Hyun has been able to kill 9 workers.
Snute catches it. So he'll be morphing an overseer, and burrow shenanigans will no longer be all that effective. Burrow's so great when you're playing roach because it helps him regenerate faster. And hopefully soon it'll mean that they move really fast with tumbling claws.
This is going to be all out roach-wise, man. 55 roaches against 39, but we all know by the time that you run across the map, this can all be different, and even if Hyun is a few roaches less, the upgrade advantage is still going to be pretty important. Even when +2 finishes for Snute, Hyun is still going to be ahead in upgrades. I love he's always trying to make something happen with 3 or 4 roaches. Snute is maxed out now, though.
200 supply to 174. Hyun will
maxing out on
max
roach
soon as well.
because
pure roach against pure roach.
I like roach.
Inertia was recently critical of Snute for this kind of a playstyle, but it's kind of been forced by Hyun this time.
Oh my god, if all those roaches run into the natural.
This is kind of weird. If he just goes and right-clicks on the roach horn, Snute's just going to... Oh, Hyun's going to trap him! But I don't know if he has enough units, Kevin. I think Snute outnumbers Hyun pretty substantially.
But 2 roaches against 1-1 though, and the reinforcements are going to be a lot quicker for Hyun.
Reinforcements are going to come out. This is going to be close. Drones pulled off the line. They're going to absorb some critical shots. But I don't know if Hyun can afford these losses. Snute's numbers are just so much greater. Upgrades or not.
Hyun has a lot of roaches on the other side of the map. He's dealing quite a bit of economic damage himself, but Snute still has so many roaches alive right on the front door of Hyun. Hyun is starting to burrow micro a bit, but...
There's an overseer overhead, so that's not really going to help. A lot of the drones of Hyun have fallen here. His reinforcements are continuing to stream out. Hyun has basically raised the third base of Snute to the ground. But Snute doing the same to Hyun's natural, and Hyun is not going to be able to stabilize, Kevin. There are 31 roaches out on the map for Snute, only 7 for Hyun.